Moving on, we got music recommendations. This shouldn't be too long. So we got 2 picks each that we'll talk about, just to give you guys some stuff we haven't talked about much on the podcast, if at all. So I go first because why not? My first recommendation is Iamsu. He IAMSU exclamation point. He's a rapper from the Bay Area, I believe from Richmond, up north, Dan's previous neck of the woods. I've listened to him, like a couple of things from him from work and other things that I've actually enjoyed. Like he has had like a shit ton of records and stuff that he's released, but there was one called Boss Up 5 in 2019, which has a couple songs like Bay Area Funk and San Pablo Avenue, which I listen to a lot. Like they go really hard. I really like the flow and stuff and the beat with them. And then he released an EP, I believe last week, called California, which is 4 songs long, and it's actually pretty decent too. Really like his flow. He's pretty like he's not known around like just in California, I guess, but not super well known around. But I think some of his stuff and his production and whatnot is actually pretty good for trap. Some of it can be kind of your normal average trap here or there, but there is some tracks I've come across from his that I really enjoy. So one of the rare times I will recommend a trap artist here on Audioface, but I enjoyed Iamsu's music the most.
Give us one of those tracks, if I just missed it already.
Yeah, I said Bay Area Funk from Boss Up 5. You have San Pablo Avenue from Boss Up 5.
Oh, I totally thought that like you're just naming places and locations. I thought these were sounds. Like never mind.
No, those are tracks.
That rocks.
I'm a real California bear.
All right.
Hard track. I listened to a lot. And then the EP, California EP, which came out a few days ago actually, is pretty good too. Only a couple songs long, but like
worth checking out.
Yes.
My pick is by a little indie group called Men I Trust, because there are very few of those, and it is yeah, maybe you've heard of them. Yeah. They released an album a couple months ago, maybe 1 or 2 months ago, called Untourable Album, and it's a lot of bedroom pop indie kind of stuff. I really like it. You kind of get into even like the second song, "Oh Dove," and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's the good shit." It's like a little bit slow.
That's the one with the sugar on it, I believe, right? It's that record.
That'd be the third
song. Good. I like that track.
My favorite to get into it actually comes near the very end of Untourable Album. It's a Lifelong song. It's just a really nice. It reminds me of Home Shake, which is probably like one of my favorite indie projects that came out. It's like a really nice punchy soul, like love kind of like sensual kind of song, but with really like the tone on the bass is just like really up and nice. It's just really love it. Definitely check that out.
Yeah, I like it. And then my last one is actually just it's 2 artists, but they collaborated to make a really good single. It's Sharon Van Etten and Angel Olsen. They both released EPs this year, but they collaborated on one song in May called Like I Used To, and it is one of my favorite tracks of the year. I thought it's very, very good. It's like one of the things where, I would say like women or indie artists are killing it this year. It's just like the track, I really like them. Like their vocals together are fantastic. It's something that's just like the epitome right now of women indie. You're just absolutely destroying it. But Angel Olsen herself, she released an EP earlier this year as well. You have some good tracks from there. Gloria, If You Leave. And then I believe Sharon Van Etten also released an EP this year, or maybe just a single, Female Fatal. I think it's just a single, Female Fatal. Okay, but the track of them together, Like I Used To, is just something I've listened to a ton, and I really, really like it.
I'll have to check that out. I've really grown onto Angel Olsen as an artist, and Sharon Van Etten, I've also heard great things from as well.
Yes, because we did Angel Olsen's Whole New Mess. But Sharon Van Etten, I don't think we've talked about at all.
Yeah. And then my last one, I think we've talked about them before on the podcast, maybe even reviewed something of them, but I also want to give them a shout out. Bad Bad Not Good. They are a jazz group out
Mhm.
of Canada. I want to say the eastern part of Canada. And they honestly just came up in the 2010s because they would do a lot of jazz covers of just like the absolute underground hip hop classics. Like I'm talking Electric Relaxation, I'm talking some Doom songs, and
Okay.
to the point where they started doing some collaborations with Doom, with the Avalanches, and really making a great name for themselves. But true and true to themselves, they are a like jazz group. They do alternative indie, but like ultimately comes down to jazz riffing and all those kind of things. And the recent album Talk Memory was also, I think it was released this week or the week before. 8 songs, 42 minutes long. Some of these tracks are long, as you can probably tell, like 9 minutes, 6 minutes long. Some of them are like nice little short things. I think a nice way to get into it is with Love Proceeding, though. It's a really nice track, something you can put together in the background as like you're working or doing something. What I love about jazz is that because of obviously there's percussion there, and the percussion is a guide, but the song goes through tempo changes and tone changes and just mood changes. And it really plays through like the best as a record top to bottom. So I highly recommend just playing it through like that. Get some
Mhm.
45 minutes of your time and let's listen to the musical bliss that is Bad Bad Not Good, continually consistently delivering these like jazz standards for a decade
Old
now, and
jazz standards.
I hope they keep at it.
Right. Quick and easy music recommendations. It's fun to do those every once in a while. Get some stuff that maybe an artist we haven't talked about for a few years, or ones that we haven't talked about at all on the podcast. It's
Yeah,
nice to have that.
I will say as like one other not like caveat but like note that a lot of our music listening habits have been warped by Audioface and like by doing listening to three new albums
100%.
every single week. Some things for great because we listen to albums we'd otherwise never listen to, and a lot of those are great, but sometimes we like miss out on things because they doesn't fit into our did it come out recently, don't have time to listen to it,
Like
or yeah.
example, like Chip Chrome and the Monotones from the Neighborhood last year. We never really got to talk about it, but it's a record I've listened to a lot in this year because I finally got around to it this year. But last year it was just so much that came out. I never got to listen. I never really got to dive into it as much as I really liked the Neighborhood.
Yeah,
So it happens with us. So we sacrifice our own music listening habits for this fucking podcast. So don't say we don't work hard.